Hello my Dotty family and welcome back to part 2 of this heart design. I'm Zelda from the Fairy Realm and today we are going to start dotting on our heart. Yay! For those of you just joining us, if you're new to my channel or new to dotting, please go and have a look at my fundamentals playlist to get you started on how I work, and then you can come back to patterns like this one. The first tool I'm going to use is the 10mm tool and color number 3. I'm going to make a center dot as center as I can possibly get it, because this is the most important dot of our piece, as you guys know. Then I'm going to use the all ball side, and in color number 4 I'm going to dot on each and every single straight line. So for those of you who don't know, I'm twisting my rock because I'm right-handed. I'm coming in from the right, so I don't need to reach over my wet work, which is going to smudge at some point, guaranteed. So if you're left-handed, then just switch it around. And this is also the side where I put my paint, because if my paint palette was on that side, I would have had to reach over my wet work and also at some point probably smudge it. So just a little bit of a tip. Okay, and I'm getting these quite close to my center circle, or my center dot. And then I'm going to, because there is enough space in between those ones, to add another one. So I'm just going to clean my tool quickly to reset the size, because you get paint build up on your tool, which makes your dots bigger if you use it for a long period of time with the same color. Oops, those two just got married. I'm gonna split them later. Then I'm going to make another row with the same size tool, and I'm going to do that in color number 1. What I'm going to do now is make the dot in the alternating space. Okay. Then with my 9mm tool and color number 2, I'm going to dot on the top straight line here, and then I'm going to skip one line and then do another dot. So mine, I'm just looking at the expansion with my chalk lines, so mine are now falling in between those two chalk circles. So I'm going to keep them like that all the way around, because then I know the expansion of my design is happening equally on all sides. Try and get your dots as center to the straight lines as you possibly can. That will ensure that your design stays nice and straight and structured. Okay, so I've noticed that this one of mine is pretty skew because it's closer to that straight line than it is to that one. And I want to center it, so I'm just going to wipe up the excess paint. And then I just wet my brush a little bit, so I can just get some of that paint off. And then I just dry my brush and I basically suck up all of the excess water. And then I'm just going to fix that up with my black paint. And I'll wait for that to dry before I dot on there again. If you're in a hurry, you can use a hairdryer. That's one of my little tips and tricks. I just quickly dry things in between. So when I paint my rock black as well, I just use the hairdryer because I'm usually so eager to get started. Okay, color number 3 and the all ball side. I'm going to start a dot on the straight line above those big dots we just made. And then I'm going to work my way down around the big dot. Looks like I can get one more tiny dot in there. So with that last tiny dot, I'm not completely touching down because it is slightly smaller space that I had available there. And if you touch all the way down, then it's going to go over the other dots. And then I'm going to do that all the way around in super cool mode. So here I go, super cool mode. Then with my 3mm tool and color number 4, we're going to make a 3mm dot. So where this circle is running, okay, we're going to do the dot just below it. Try and stay on the straight lines if you can. I know that the spacing might push you in a little bit of a different direction, especially when you're a beginner. But what you can always do is you can climb back onto the straight lines at some point. So if your dots are not exactly on the straight line, as you expand, you're going to jump back onto the straight line. Next, I want to do a circle around this piece here. So if your circle line is not falling, that's going to give you a nice guideline, then you can always just draw one in. Don't worry about the hole that you're making here because we are going to be top dotting that a little bit later. I'm going to use the small ball side of my pink tool and color number 1 because I want these dots to be really, really tiny. So I'm just going to use my circle as an indicator, but what I can see from where it falls is that here is the space that's closest to the circle guideline. I'm going to start on this side, okay, and that gives me quite a clear indication of where it's going to fall all the way around, but it looks like it's going to be on the circle line anyway. So I'm going to do this all the way around and I'm going to put this on super cool mode. So here we go, super cool mode. Okay, so I wanted to stop here because I wanted to show you I had enough space for about 3 dots. So in order to close my circle so you don't see where I closed it, I made one in the center first and then I'm going to do one on each side. So always stop ahead of time so you can plan your closing so it doesn't look like a forced closing. And also just remember to keep on resetting your tool size. So as soon as the dots start getting a little bit larger, so like there, I had to reset, and here also I had to reset, just so that your dot size stays consistent all the way around. Then in the same color, which is color 1, and the all ball side, so I just flip my tool around, I'm going to do another border. Well, I'm going to do a border. So here where we marked all the way around our heart, that is exactly where I'm going to be dotting. But I'm going to start with a dot at the bottom, and then also I'm going to make a dot in the center at the top here so that those two ends can close up nicely and meet nicely. And then I'm going to dot it all the way around in super cool mode. So here we go, super cool mode. Next, we're going to take our 4mm tool and color number 3. And what you're going to do is on the straight line there, make a dot. You're going to skip a straight line and do another one. Skip 1, dot 1, skip 1, dot 1. Skip 1, dot 1, and skip the last one, and then dot 1. The alternating ones we're going to do in color number 4. Same size tool. So here we go. Then you're going to take your 3mm tool and color number 2. And we're going to make 2 dots in between each of those dots we just made. And we're going to do that all the way around. So here we go. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me today. I'll see you guys again next time. Stay dotty, stay magical, keep well. Bye bye.
Every single day